Right, sweet. We should be streaming. I'm just going to double check on my YouTube to make sure, because this is the second time I'm using my computer to do it. Yeah, I think it's all good. I think it's working. One second. So usually this is morning routine time, so I'm just pretty much getting myself prepped for the London session. A bit behind on time by about 10-20 minutes, so let's see how we end it. Alright, sweet. Yes. Oh, you just took a trade. Interesting. What trade did you take? Can you hear me okay? Actually, I just want to test that. Let me just put it on here. Yeah? Voice sounds good, to be honest. I'm listening to it on my phone, so I've got it there, that's good. That's sweet. Put this one over there. EA short. Right, let me check that in 1 second. I'm just going to get my background music on, and hopefully there isn't any noise coming through. Can you hear the background noise? Is it interfering much with what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm doing good, Sean. I'm doing really good. I just wanted to jump on because I'm doing my morning routine, and I know for a lot of people this can be quite useful to kind of just get a bit of an insight on that as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd jump on. I'm doing the sorry, stumbled my words. I'm gonna do another live, usually around about 12ish. But I wanted to just jump on because I'm doing my journaling and stuff now, so got them journals out. I'm gonna just start journaling, and then maybe just speak them out loud so you guys can kind of hear what I'm writing, and yeah, maybe you might take some value with some of the affirmations and stuff I'm writing. I'm washing clothes. Yeah, it's early, man. It's early. This is the stuff we've got to go through. That's why you need a woman in your life. All right. No, I'm joking. Of course. Do the washing. It's a unisex thing. Alright. So what are we looking at? 7/11. 07/11/25. So I like this book because actually on the title it says every day is a new opportunity. But yeah, I need to get through this so I can get my morning forecast out. So prior to this I already did some stretching, and I'm gonna take that off. So I did my window visualization. I didn't have a cold shower, but it's totally okay because I'm going to be compensating that with a banging forecast. Stretching and breathing, I might go through that again actually because I can't really record it, but let me do my affirmations, gratitude and visualization. So first one I write is gratitude. First thing I start every day is I write gratitude, and I write an affirmation for gratitude, which is I am grateful for the infinite opportunities, wisdom and abundance shaping my journey. I am grateful for the infinite opportunities, wisdom second one is consistency. I take focused, purposeful action every day, bringing my dreams to reality. I take focused, purposeful action every day, bringing my dreams to reality. The next one is discipline. Discipline. I'm a disciplined trader making wise decisions with precision and faith. I am a disciplined trader making wise decisions with precision and faith. Sometimes I do like to listen to alpha waves in the morning. It just depends. Sometimes I like something a little bit mellow and chill, just to kind of wind me into the mood of just kind of being in that alpha wave. But listening to pure alpha waves is a really good way to do affirmations as well. The next one I've got is patience. Put the table a bit higher. So the next one I've got is patience. And for this one I've got, I trust divine timing, aligning with the flow of abundance and prosperity. I trust divine timing, aligning with the flow of abundance and prosperity. And then the next one is abundance. Wealth and success flows to me effortlessly. I am aligned with financial freedom. So that is wealth and success flows to me effortlessly. I am aligned with financial success. And then the next one is mastery. So kind of like skill set. So mastery. And the affirmation for this one is, I master my emotions and thoughts, staying clear, calm, and open to possibilities. I master my emotions and thoughts, staying clear, calm, and open to possibilities. And then it basically just goes down into the next one, which is focus. And the next one is, my focus is sharp. I act on my goals with clarity and purpose. My focus is sharp. I act on my goals with clarity and purpose. And the last affirmation I have here is energy. So I radiate energy that attracts wealth, health, and abundance in my life. Sweet. Actually reminds me, I need to jump on a call with Seth. He asked me a few times in the chat to jump on a call, but you know what, life just got so busy after the gym. I had to walk dogs, then I had to go get food, So there's F. Definitely, we need to get onto that course soon. Gratitude list. Something is shaking on my table. I don't know if you guys can hear that shaking noise. I'll figure it out. Alright. So gratitude list. So this one should be a little bit personal too. This one should be something that you're genuinely grateful for. And it could be anything. You know, it could be the weather, it could be whatever comes to mind. And usually I just write 3 things that I'm grateful for. So I'm gonna jump into that. And I'll usually start with I am grateful for, and then I'll go on and just write whatever comes to me. The next one I'll be doing is more on the side of visualization. So now I'll just write a bit to do with my why. So I note it down as visualization, but really and truly what I'm doing here is I'm just writing in connection with the why I'm trading, and then I'm putting myself in the position of already living that life. So let me just quickly. So I was just moving the camera around, just noticed. Because my screen is larger. Let's see. Anyway, I think what I should be doing is okay, that's cool. That's basically cool. Anyway, we're good to go. So, guys, what we're looking at, so I've got on chat, we've got Euro, I'm going to take this out, I did have a quick little brief scan. These was just some other pairs I was looking at, so I'm just going to put them in here now. Alright, sweet. So let's have a look at that trade you were looking at. And I'm going to drop into EA quickly. It's EA? Yep, EA. Oh, I see what you're looking at. So I had EA for the long, but I can see that we've done a bit of a gap fill here, which is nice, and it comes back down from here. Could be an interesting play. You put it in for the long, I believe. Oh, for the short, nice. Yeah, good thought process. I was looking at this long, which was a shadow trade, but it was nice. I think we saw it yesterday. I think someone mentioned it. And yeah, the trade was here. Pretty much would have taken it on that candle. 10 pips, borderline. Always had a bit extra, about 12 pips down there. You might have survived. It's definitely an interesting trade in itself. That one went for quite a bit actually. It went all the way back up. Even here it didn't stall, so that was good. I would survive this. Yeah, about 13%. Aggressive management, 12.5. Oh, sorry, my hand was on the mic. Apologies, thank you for that. Good morning. Can you hear me better now? Just wanted to double check that everything is good on the sound side. Properties. Just double checking the volume is good. To make sure the volume is good. Can you hear me okay, guys? Is everything good with the sound? GM. I think we're talking about GN or GM? What's GM? Game Master. That's what I know GM is. Yeah, so let's look at that short position. So I'm looking at a failed continuation now, but whatever you've taken could be pretty good as well. I'd be looking for the short below here. So if we start shaking up below this area, you could be looking for shorts on EA for sure. Okay, EA could be a gameplay that just shapes up here into the London session, and the next thing you know is there, boom, just sells. You get some sort of like in this section, you're good to go. Yeah, audio's good. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, so basically there, and I'll play that because when you look at it from a psychological point of view, even though we tapped into this, let's just remove that for a second and look at it for the bigger picture. Right now, it has tested this 3 times and has pushed up very aggressively, so you do want to wait for that insurance entry really and truly. I don't truly believe that we repelled from that base just to fill that small gap, but anything's possible. We've come up, we filled the gap, we've left for quite a big daily candle. It's possible we could retrace that ever so slightly. Even so, you've got the possibility of this retesting, so I do want to see that confirmation. I want to see this really invalidate any sort of continuation in this area and for it to start coming back down. So the earlier entry was a smart one because you're basically playing into the anticipation, but at the same time of day, entry wise, it's not for me. So I'm going to wait for a London session, New York session sort of trade to shape up, and then basically hope for low time frame confirmation to keep going short. But I think the short is a very smart way because we've tapped the top of this, we've come down, we've double bottomed, we came all the way back up, we came down, we tested it, and if we start selling off, then there's no reason for this not to break that low because it's tested it so many times and it could come into the next point here. Looking at it on the daily, it's quite neutral as well. This doesn't look like my typical bull flag. If it was going to go, it could have probably gone from this section here, continued there. The fact of the matter, because it failed, and it's come all the way back down here, it's probably still going to be trading within this range, so it could come in and tap the next liquidity point, or this could be continuation right now. So I do want to wait for that confirmation that will really confirm the trade, but looking at shorts was good. EG, oh man, EG looks good as well, really. So we're looking at this here. I was looking at potentially a long continuation. was hoping to see something like this, so we tap into this low. Wasn't a huge fan of that. I wanted to see that confirmation. You can see how, we failed to continue, and then I was anticipating that if we had a reduced risk entry up here, stop loss below, which was like 6 pips at that point. So I was like, how accurate would that be? And then right now we're trading below that low, so odds are it's probably just going to sell off now. If it's the one to go, it doesn't really need to start developing more. We've kind of tapped into this liquidity point, which is the retest of that. We had a bit of a continuation here. We broke above, we broke back in now. Insurance entry area. If we get insurance entry, the sales are still on, and even though the channel is a little bit corrective, this can drop off because essentially you mark it up. When you mark it up and look at it like this, what's really happened? Well, we tapped into high value area, broke above. We're coming out correctively, which isn't your best option. It really shows exhaustion, but right now when I'm looking at it, I'm not really seeing it as corrective and then flat and then sells off. So I want to see it as it's now trading through the low here. This is just a build up of volume, and then it's come back up. It's failed to break above this, which is a good sign in my opinion. With that failure to break above, we then can see it on the break here. We then see it on 5 minute, came back up V-shape, tested it, didn't break above, and now it's selling off. So all I need to do is I need to see a confirmation, ideally into London session. We drop off a little bit more, we start consolidating, create something like this, and then into London session, we maybe get a trade, retraces, and it continues, and then you get a trade like that. Arguably, I'm not really too concerned about something like this going into a running channel. I just would like to see some structure to then play into the low as the first play, and then play the bigger move. So I would like to see it kind of give me insurance entry there to then continue to the way down. And then we've just got a pretty clear run to the downside. There isn't really much stopping us from this being quite an impulsive run. But it started off corrective, so you'd have to play through that. Also, stop loss wise, I'm not truly favourable for it. Right now, if I was to even go 10 pips, I could just get a hold right now without even having to wait for that insurance entry. But obviously, it's not the best place in the world to do it. So that's kind of it for that. Let me quickly finish journaling because I've got about a little bit left on it. So I'm just going to do that now. But I just wanted to kind of run over that EA trade. So I'm just going to do the visualization part. My daily goal is going to be quite simple today because it's not a huge amount, but what I want to be making sure I get done is I want to do a meditation this afternoon. Even though that's not my routine list, I want to make sure I get it sorted. I want to also ensure that I spend at least about 30 minutes on my Friday night forecast. The reason why I put it in there is because that's going to be a tough one because I've got to go out in the evening. So before I leave, I want to do a 30-minute forecast on my watch list. What I'll do to make it easier is I'll probably start prepping it throughout the day. So then, by the time I get towards the end of the day, when I spend that time, I'll set a timer and I'll just sit there for 30 minutes, just going over it constantly, back and forth, just making sure that I'm fit room for the best pairs. And then tomorrow I'll do the same thing again. And then meditation, and then I think one more thing I want to be doing is I think I'm going to do some practice at the piano as well. And chords F. Because he did ask me a few times, but he's probably sleeping right now. Alright, sweet. So that's basically it for my first journal. Then we'll whip out the one blank. The magic pen. To be fair, this pen, I've crafted a lot of my goals in it, so I'll put this journal to the side as well. And then like this journal. It's also I got this when I went to Dubai actually, it was interesting. I've got a one blank pen and a book. To this day, my wife still tells me it's probably the most expensive purchase I've made. Because I spent like £1,000 on a pen. And the only thing I've ever spent £1,000 on is actually my computer. Over £1,000 on my computer. And then over £1,000 on my car, and that's about the only two most expensive things. And then obviously buying a house and all that stuff. But most of the expensive things are pens. So whenever she thinks about, in her eyes, whenever she thinks about splashing on something expensive, she's like, yeah, but you bought a pen. Ridiculous. Alright, but I don't expect a lot of people to understand the power of having a good pen. Alright, so I'm just going to finish my daily journal. So 11. Nice. And yeah, I'm just getting to that. Is there a webinar today? Just double check. I think there was supposed to be a webinar today. No, there wasn't. Oh wait, 31st. 31st Friday. Okay, there was. No, there's nothing today. It was just the bonus webinar yesterday. Yeah, just wanted to double check. Amazing. Great, cool. So that's journaling done for the day. Well, for the day. Still got evening, afternoon forecast and so forth. So, alright, let's have a little look at the markets. So I'm gonna get through this watch list. Got quite a bit in there. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna clear off. Oh, there we go. Interesting how Euro New Zealand is breaking above right now. If we pull this out, just clear all of that off. Isn't that interesting? So all-time highs practically for us since 2010, we're coming back up. Okay. The likelihood is there's a little hook point over here. We're coming into that area. We're a bit far off right now, but looking at it, it's a solid little run ahead of us. I'm just going to check it a little bit closer. We're broken above this, yeah, so this could be a rapid run on this particular pair. I would definitely be looking for continuation. This is good. This was good. If somebody took a long here, definitely be interested to know, because that trade right there, it's not a bad trade. It could develop, but playing it for where it is, it's tricky because of where it's situated. If this develops, comes up higher, comes down, what am I looking at next week? I'm looking at next week's trade for this. Take that on watch, but EN for the long, I don't see why we're going to make it on watch next week. That's looking like a really good pair. Just going to remove it though because it's a bit clutter on my watch list. Let's see, what do we have over here? There isn't really much. Yes, generally speaking, yeah, man. They're really nice. It's in that range, man. It's coming to the downside. Let me just put it again because quick scan on the end. It's interesting. I think we could probably see longs on yen pairs, but NJ doesn't look long at all right now. way sell off. That'd be an interesting one. What time of day is it? It's, yeah, do you know what, London session, if that comes in, corrects now. And then we sell insurance entry here, maybe for some people. But I like this. I'm putting entry and watch, for sure. We go down here, London session, EJ. What the hell's going on with EJ? Man, I hate when this happens sometimes, you know, you find good pairs and then you look at the correlating pairs, and the correlating pairs are like completely going the other way. So, it's a long shot, but let's see, I don't think I'm looking at EJ at all for today. EJ looks like it could be a notorious long, but nothing about this is clean right now, so I'm going to leave that. Take that off my watch. EG, we just looked at that. EG. I'm not really an EG fan, I'll be honest with you. EG could sell off though. It could, but I'm not holding EG over the weekend and I'm not anticipating a massive move. Even though it's very possible, I just, with the sequence and how corrective it is, I'm going to leave that one out, so I'm going to leave that for today. It's not the one. And you didn't give me pullback. Still can. But yeah, it's basically just moving. There was a tight consolidation there as well. Let's see if I go to daily. It's running. You know what? I might see these pairs just go. I think DXY for recovery could be a good interesting play. We tapped into this now. Arguably we tapped into all the liquidity we needed to. How are we looking on the 1 hour? Yeah, it's a bit choppy. We could get some erratic price action today. Is there news? NFP as well today. At 1:30. And that sucks. Okay, so if we go long, this goes short. It's just been going short, so the sentiment is strong. This is good. This could be going short as well. So if I just clear that off, let me just go back to the daily. Got a ray line here. Alright, so what we can see here is quite interesting because we've broken the low, but look at that weekly candle. Look how the weekly is closing on this. If we close anywhere bullish, it's a good sign for buys. Right now though, look at that DXY has potential to go long, DXY goes long, this comes back down short, and then we just get another bearish candle that's confirming for the shorts. So, I'm going to try to go with the short then. I'm going to wait for this one for short. I like the idea of trading short. I think what we have is we're attached into this. This is not really all that, but it was the origin of that sharp sell-off right there, and we tapped into it. Go to the 15-minute. This is a bit of a third continuation situation over here, and then that's just smaller liquidity. I want to see how that develops into the London session, so I'm going to mark that up over here, around about there, and hopefully, maybe this sounds off a little bit more. It comes back up for the London session. Probably not. Let me go to the 5. Okay, so I will be looking for this now as break of days, maybe pushes a bit lower, breaks the low, comes back up correctively. We're still in that middle section, aren't we? So maybe okay, I've got it. I know what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna wait for price to come in, come back up, and starts off here. And then ideally, I think with 10 pips, I can get in there, get tagged in the trade around about here, and then I'm playing that for the bigger move. Yeah, that's exactly how I want to be playing this, and then I would see this is my internal. If it does it, it doesn't do it, it doesn't really matter. And that's how I'm looking at playing this. And the nice thing is that it's also coming from this, yeah. Maybe go a bit tighter, but I like the extra protection. And I play back to the downside. That's the trade I'm looking for. I like that. I'm not going to be looking at the neutrality for the long. The long is something that I'll leave till next week. Right, or New York, but I'm looking at just purely shorts, staying with that forecast. Fucking hell, AN is flying. I think we said this as well, it's probably just going to come up, break above here, and then eventually come down if it does. It's not necessary, but it's relentless. Was there a trade to go on? Yeah, not really, nothing that I can see straight away. It's a bit steep. I mean, you could find something, but okay, so I'm going to take that off watch. AJ. AJ kind of has some potential. I do like AJ a little bit because there is some elements to this looking good in the near list and everything included. It's kind of like, where's it going to turn around? It's going to turn around here. Nope. Came up, came back down, retested it. And now that it's kind of done a middle, mini double bottom here, after it's kind of tested it here, it kind of looks like it's going to go long. So then my NJ trade is suddenly not looking as nice. There is a little bit, I don't know. You could look for longs, to be fair, because with that middle double bottom, price coming back into this area, I wouldn't look for it just here on this high. I would wait for a consolidation. So if you start to see something like this, you know, you can get involved. Probably won't be as large as that. Probably be a bit more tight on the pipe as well. Probably see something like this. It'll go like that. That would be the trade that kind of just gives you a clue that this is the first flag. You could probably mitigate with an insurance entries, reduce risk, 20 pips. You play into the next point, you go 4 to 1. I don't mind that trade actually, I'll put that on watch. It's a variation, it's a hedge against my NJ trade. And I'm going to look at that again. I think EA is definitely what I'm going to put on watch. If we get that insurance flag, so I'll put that on watch as well. And then I'm going to fill for it again in a second. I've got about 10 minutes till the candle closes. So EU, putting that on watch as well. I think EU is a bit self-explanatory for what I'm looking for. Right? You come in, you've retested here. This is kind of like your late in the run B, but you're situated in a good area right now. And then if we get flag in this territory, which I'm probably gonna wait for something a little bit more developed. It's asking for a bit much there, but if I get something remotely like this, I could really risk entry something like that nicely. 10 pips, easily get away with 10. And then I'll play that to the downside. Probably mechanical management for me. Probably about 5, to be fair. I'm not going to be greedy at all anyway. I'll probably have it around about here. If I can get in for the same trade that I forecasted here, I'll get in for a 5% trade. And I'll leave it as that. So that would be the forecast on that. These were just other ones that I had to watch that I was just keeping attention to. So I'm not interested in UK oil, KGM. Same long thesis actually. I think KGM might be better than AJ. It's one of them ones where you take your pick. You know, I'm looking at NJ for the short. going to leave GJ. This one. AU. You know what? AU looks good as well. I'm going to leave AU. It's fun. I've really got quite a lot of pairs to watch tonight. The CAD pair that we mentioned, I think it's underdeveloped. I'm not sure if that's, if you're going to see it like this, sorry, like that, and then if you're looking for this, that's where it could probably go wrong, and then it develops, and it becomes something a bit more, you know, on the side, but it develops down here, it comes back up, and then it turns into something larger, and then eventually just goes, right. Because it's where it's positioned, it's possible, so I think for that reason I'm just going to leave EuroCAD out. 5 minutes to the candle close. Yeah, gold's had some good trades there. Right now, I'm not interested in gold, so I'm going to leave that one out too. Lower time frame, in case you're wondering, it's squeezed into the upside, so longs are much better than shorts. But again, as we just break above this, we could retrace back in, get it corrected, come back up, or get off and stuff like that. Silver's nice as well, same situation. I'll wait till it comes back to these areas. In fact, what I'll do is I'll even take the early trade today, so even if it shades up, I'll wait till next week on that one, so I'm going to leave that. NU again. Yeah, I'm going to leave NU as well. So I've got NJ for short, which is a bit of a weaky structure. It's showing a bit of exhaustion and indecision, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if that. I think an insurance entry is probably my better play, but we'll see. I'll probably go risk over me. AJ. Yeah, AJ could develop like AJ. GU's good. If it just sells off, then that becomes the. This was always the flag here. That was it. And then it's just going from here. Which I think, yeah, I think that's a strong possibility anyway. I don't think it needs to come back up. It can just drop off from here. So if you wanted to, you could set a reduced risk entry, but your stops would be a little bit larger. You would be stops around about 14, I'd say, is the safe bet. If you want to go extra protection, you know, you're going about 20, so it's not worth it. I'd say you're getting right now for reduced risk territory, you go a bit more aggressive, you go with the 13 or 12 pips, and then you basically play that trade. I don't see that being a bad trade because it's right session. So GU reduced risk. You know what, I might even take that as a shadow trade. I like that trade enough to see it through. I'm happy with 10 on this. It's either a takeout or stay in situation on this trade. So, come back to it in a second. EU, I go for development, but if it sells off, it sells off. Like, what can you do? And then EA is great as a continuation, but just above that. I'm not a fan of it being above that. I want it to be through that, so I'd wait. Do you? Yeah, let me open now. Let's have a look. One sec. Remember my MetaTrader. Have a little look. Remember, I'm not taking it with a full risk here, I'm taking it with 0.25. And I'm up around about 18 to 20% this month, so I can risk taking a reduced risk entry on a trade like this, but it's not because of that. That's why I'm taking the reason why I'm taking the trade. Taking the trade because I genuinely believe it's a good trade, and because it has a lot of probability in line with the DXY. DXY going long, you go short, position well. So that would be the thought process behind that. But you'd want to always go a little bit extra protection, in my opinion. That extra 3 pips can help you if price does come back up for whatever reason. It's just, for me right now, I'm more than happy to go a bit aggressive on this because I'm basically playing this as a reduced risk entry. I'm not trying to play it as a reduced risk entry and survive the reduced risk entry to then play short from the risk entry. For me, it's either it goes from here or I don't take it at all. So I've basically just seen it like that. It's tight, it's small, it's inside this right now, so it's definitely more on the side of caution. You're through the low here, which I like, and then you're developing there. So I like the fact that there, that's your little middle section inside it, came up here, sold down, insurance entry in the middle, and then it's going. So mechanically, it kind of meets my criteria. There was this, but then I thought, you know what, that's basically retested that anyway. This is the break, this is where the entries were, it came back, retested it, maybe took people out here where they'd gone in too early or whatever, and then psychologically, we basically sold off from here. So if it does come back up here, then sure you can make do with this being the bigger flag that we were looking at, and then that becomes the middle section. But usually I don't see it being this correction, then come back up. So that's just the thought process there. I need to channel these now, so I'm going to move them over to my Notion with me. Daily forecast. Let's read some of these comments and view while I was loading. Can you hear some weird sounds? Maybe the mic. Can you still hear weird sounds? Okay, nobody told me there was still an echo. I plugged in a different microphone, but there's still an echo. Interesting. Anyway, let's crack on. So I'm just going to finalize this, and then I'm going to go over and do something. Alright, so give me a second. Flipping out, so Let's see how this sounds. Guys, tell me if this sounds better. Change over to a different microphone. Let's see how this sounds. Guys, tell me if this sounds better. I hope that sounds better because I've swapped over to a different microphone. Man, this sucks. Didn't realise how bad it was. Editing before, yeah, man. Guys, gotta let me know these things. Sitting here talking and I can't even hear properly. I think it's better that I do it on the tablet. I think I can plug my tablet into my computer and then I can stream it from the tablet, but still use the computer somehow. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Anyway, let me continue with this. So there's a bit of interference with the mic. Let me quickly check this. So, just finishing my forecast. Bear with me. Obviously with NJ you've got to be careful because this one is primarily made of wicks, which is not something you want, and where it's situated, you need to be careful with a trade like that. So waiting for an insurance entry is probably a safer option in most scenarios. If you go back to the 4 hour and you look at it, give me a second. Alright, let's see. Yeah, you go to the 4 hour and you look at it. You're waiting for the third touch. Yeah, man, absolutely. I mentioned this as well that you could come back up here and then it turns into this. Because of the time of day, I was kind of like, you know what? This kind of has enough in the sense of looking at it as it's sold off now, it's moved. Yeah, first flag, second flag. You can see how the nature of the second flag was. I think I didn't really mention this one as much. But you can see how it was a bit messy. The first flag was the same. So then when I'm looking at this one, I'm thinking, what if we're looking at a very similar thing where it's just not going to be as clean as we want it to be? And if that's going to be the case, is there any clues in the market? And these were kind of it. So the third touch is a great choice to wait for. It could come up here around about in an hour or 2 hours. But I was happy to just get involved. Like I said, I'm considerably up in the month, so I can afford it. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it could develop. EU as well could develop into New York session. Euro Aussie. I need to forecast these 1 sec. So I'm looking at short.
You could look at NJ long maybe inside here, a long into the short to get the long here. I'm not in favour of it, but I'm just saying, because if you're looking for the short anyway, you know prices come back up. If you know as a hedge play, these yen pairs could be going long. It might be a smart idea to just, if you catch the entry here, regain 10 pips, you manage it in here, you've got about 3 to 1. So just something that I was also noticing a lot of the time is we'll wait for the trade here, but we'll never catch the trade on the way there. So with the counter trade, AJ, I'm waiting for this, AJ. AUD, So this is the hedge play, if you guys missed it. Yeah. Let me just check the chat one second. Yeah, middle section. Middle section. Not usually a big fan of reduced risk entries, but in some cases, you know, I'm more than happy to take it. I think as well that's why I'm more confident with this trade, because I don't usually take a reduced risk entry, but when I do, I'm almost a lot more confident with it because it's not something that I usually would like to take. But this particular trade is genuinely just high risk. We'd have to wait and see. Even if it starts breaking up to about here, you know, it becomes a little bit more tricky. I mean, really and truly, let me just quickly check something. Lux algo. Yeah, we're good. I'm seeing session-wise, we're good. Could be a long as well. So if this fails and then we get continuation up here, make sure you're ready to pivot for the long, because this becomes your larger continuation to the upside. So a lot of things can change quickly. That's the thing. This pushes higher aggressively in this session now, and you get continuation above into something below the session. You could be playing a decent long for the upside. So it's another reason why waiting for the third touch is a good idea, but at the same time, you know, if you can afford to take this risk and basically be high up in the run for this to then potentially just start really moving, and then the XY just kind of has a push, and then it just starts continuing, you're good. I think that gap is a little bit of an off-betting one because of where it's situated, but it kind of filled it, the majority of it anyway at this point, so I'm not too concerned about the gap. I just like the fact that we came down aggressively, we've tapped in here, and now we're pulling back, And within this pullback, I want to kind of just see continuations to the upside. So you look at it here, getting this small tight consolidations in here. Whilst this does that, this then just moves suddenly like this, or maybe develops into a 3 further within this. As long as it's contained in there, then you look at something like GU and it doesn't really have much room to really move around. But yeah, I mean, look, straight away, if this is failing to sell, it's definitely not the one that you want to be staying in for too long. AU. Yeah, see, like what I was saying about NJ. That's an NJ trade, 15-minute. It's not a bad trade either. To be fair, you've broken a low, you come back in, you create a continuation, you're coming back up to the clear point there. You could even get situated in here, 10 pips will put your up there. You could manage easily 2.5 into that point there. I'm going to wait on them, see how this all plays out. To be fair, I've taken it quite small anyway. Extra protection will be here. Let's wait and see. I've just forecasted slow, NJ, AJ, GU, just put G's notes. Yeah, this definitely looks like your trade to come up now. At this point here, if this closes in 2 minutes, anywhere remotely up there, you don't want to be in this trade. Because that's basically confirming this trade idea that we have section 1, section 2 with the gap footprint, which is on the retest. You've got your lows, section 1, and then you're basically coming up here to then come in, sell, and go. Which again, you look at the re-entry. If that's the case, probably not a big fan of the risk entry right there. If it retraces back in considerably, it's a lot nicer around about here. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, I think looking at EU as well, EU coming back into that area there. Comes back up, comes back down, and revisits. Nah. CDXY. So we are here. We've squeezed into this. And nothing significant from this, to be honest. It's practically just a squeeze. Then it just drops off and then starts giving continuation, different situation. Yeah, that's going to be a. Where's my entry? Pretty much. Definitely would be happier with a risk entry on this right now if it comes. Let's let that be. Not very good. Let's finish that up. So Euro USD. Yeah, Euro USD. And we've got news later. So I really would like to see this give us the entry. We start moving. And then we can manage it accordingly to news or close it. It's okay. Let's trade as well. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like that too much at all. I think I'm going to leave EU out. Let's go EA. EA I'm definitely a fan for. I'm going to leave that one. Clean this off. And let's go EA. Euro Aussie. I'm going to leave GU on the screen while I just type this up. UJ. It's tricky, man. Look at UJs for the long as well. similar to what we were saying with AJ right now, if you look at it, it's kind of just retesting the back end of all of that. Then come in here, create a double bottom, and then you've had quite a strong 4-hour push away. So are you looking at UJ for the long? If you're looking at UJ for the long, I think it's okay. If you're looking at this, I would say that's quite risky because of how steep it is and where it's sitting. So I would, even though it could play, I just think that it's a very risky one. I think what we could be waiting for really and truly is this. That you get that into, I mean that would be the most soonest situation for the flag. Maybe it could develop at the same thing, a little bit larger, but yeah, something like that would be nice. And then maybe you get squeezed into it, which is what I was kind of aiming for over here. That would be good for UJ. Yeah, long. That's what I'll be looking at. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, I was saying earlier on the call actually, we missed our call yesterday, or I missed it, so hopefully what we can do is we can do something today. We'll do something today. CAD Swiss, don't be telling me CAD Swiss, come on. You bring in CAD Swiss onto this webinar. Alright, let's see. Alright, so it's okay, to be honest, don't get me wrong. You know, CAD Swiss, I can see why you would want to bring it on, but like, it's momentum for pull down. It's borderline tapped into that hook point, failed to continue, sold off, and now it's pulling back. On the daily, it's retracing around about 50% of that candle. So we're still in bearish territory, really and truly. We're still bearish territory. This can still retrace, come back down, insurance entry, and then sell off. If we start trading above and we push up here, then we start creating continuation here into New York session, maybe you could take a trade. I think that would be a bit more developed to next week, and then maybe you get something like that because it is one of them pairs which builds a lot of volume. But yeah, I think that's the two scenarios. You either sell from where we are now, you get a retrace. You don't take the retrace, you take the insurance entry if the insurance entry comes. And then if not, and it continues going higher, you wait for that long. That's basically what I see. School time, drop your kids. School drop, catch you later. Yeah, take care, man. Take care. Let's see. I've got one trade open. Kind of feel like I might have got into it a little bit early, but it's okay. I'm gonna stick with the trade. I'm gonna ride it through to get us a reduced risk entry over here. Show you. It's basically like that. On the back of this, and then I was just seeing it as something tight into the London session open, where it was just going to be something like that, and then it just drops off. It did come back up, which is the thing that I was kind of expecting as a worst case scenario situation, that you know you've got this accumulation, then it accumulated again, then it comes up. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out, man. It's okay. It's actually left a bit of a gap here as well, and it's left a gap here. So the odds are this could potentially make its way back up as well and do something like that, which I would not like at all. But again, I'm in the trade. I'm going to stick with my trade. I'm not going to just jump out of the trade for no reason. But we'll see how that plays out. EA. Alright, sweet. That's it. I'm done for morning forecast. We'll put this over here. Save it. Share. 1 second, I need to put it into a shared item. Copy. Put it over here. something inspirational. Next week starts. Yeah, the 5-minute reduced risk entry can be difficult to time, but a good stop loss tends to cover you well. Yeah, absolutely, man. A good stop loss does. Absolutely, I fully agree with you. I mean, this time I actually decided to take the reduced risk entry and go a little bit tight. I know I'm covered just above that, so it's kind of one of them ones where I was saying originally like a 13 pip is your safest option. I was playing it for here. I mean, to be honest, I would get out of this trade, or I would probably add a little bit extra on it, just because I'm trading with such small risk. I would add a little bit extra and give myself that little bit extra breathing room. And you know, I've done that before where this has been my 0.25%, and then I've realised, you know what, I should have added a bit extra, and then I might just go and add 2 extra pips on it, or 3, right? Just because it's those 3 extra pips that will keep you in the trade ultimately. So yeah, so that's just that. I genuinely don't believe that this is going to be a sell now, looking at it. I think DXY is coming back down. It's going to sell off for the Friday. NJ definitely didn't give us a nice 15-minute close, so there was no trade there. Well, arguably, you know, you've tapped into this, you left a wick, you broke it, 5-minute. I think it was okay. I think this is a decent trade. I mean, positioning wise, protection wise, I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not for the counter trend trade in here, just because of all things included. I think waiting for something on the hourly is your best bet anyway. You know, an hourly sort of taps in here, reduce risk entries to short, makes sense. Let's see, 15 GU. Yeah. Alright, sweet. I'm gonna crack on with the rest of my routines. Let me see what else have I got to do. So let me just double check it on here. So I I've done that. Okay, affirmations, journaling, we did that earlier. Morning forecast, that's done. Yeah, I'll prepare my workstation as well. I'm supposed to do that. Oh gosh, let's do it now. Alright, so I'm going to prepare the workstation, and then I'm going to go head over, I'll practice the piano for a bit, and then walk my dogs, and then maybe around about 12 o'clock we'll jump on another live, and then we'll continue from there. So I will catch you guys later. Take care, take care.